Hey, Summer, we're live.
We are live.
How's it going? I think I need to create. I think we're gonna have you on more often, and we're gonna create a cool intro for the two of us. It'll be really fun. But for now, we're gonna run this one, and then we'll be right back, and we're gonna tell you what we're gonna talk about. What? It's a summer takeover. Boom! Let's do this. Hi.
Hi.
You know what? I forgot to check. Are we going? Are we on? This is me. Everybody's probably like, oh, you do this every time. Yeah. Okay.
All I know, Katie, is that the little live button is up in the upper left-hand corner, and it is ticking away at the time.
1 minute. Summer, we have something in common. What do we have in common?
Well, we both wear glasses.
And we both have big.
And we both have big heads.
like physically. And Summer, that's a good day. You want to know why?
I am waiting with bated breath. Tell me why it's a good day, Katie.
I've been wearing my underwear inside out all day, unknowingly. And it's always a good sign.
Well, that means you have another side you can use tomorrow, right?
Exactly. Okay, everybody. Summer's taking over today, so I'm gonna just give you a little bit of info, and then she's gonna take it over. We were talking about this. We used to do a couple shows last year, so we're gonna do this more often because she's an actress. She's fun, awesome. We're friendsies, and she wanted to do this thing, and then we just were chatting, yada yada. Hey, let's do some Highland game stuff, and I was like having a brain frog, so I was like, hey, Summer, why don't you do it? So, Summer,
yes.
What are we doing today?
We are going to learn all about you, Katie.
Well, I'd like to marry Ryan Reynolds or John Cusack, one of the two.
It became apparent to me as I was noodling around in the back of my brain that I know you, but the only reason I know you is because we know people in common through the Highland games. And so, through the laws of friendship transference, I know that the friends of my friends are most likely my friends. And then I realized I don't know a lot about your Highland Games journey because I don't think we overlapped a ton.
We did not. I don't think we did ever.
Before you showed up on the scene, and I was like, have this gap in my knowledge base. So I have 10 questions all about Highland Games to get to know you better, and you can share with the rest of your audience more about your origin story, because you don't really share a whole lot about how you came to be in Highland Games when you're on this channel, and the people need to know.
Well, I didn't realize it was going to be that, but okay, yeah, that's good actually, because I don't share that very much. So yeah,
no, we're going deep. We're going deep.
Let's do this. Can I just ask you a question first before?
I took over, Katie, and so I get the questions.
All right, I'll do it at the end because I have a fun one.
Okay. So, and I did write 12 questions. So if at any point there is a question you don't feel comfortable answering, you get 2 passes. And then I'll sub in one of the additional questions that I wrote. So that those are the games. You get 2 passes.
I'll have to go back to my movie memories and give the summary plot of that.
So question number 1.
I lived in a house in California that had stairs, and I had 5 siblings.
I feel like you're trying to delay the inevitable.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's do this. Okay.
Question number 1. Things I don't know is how you came to find yourself competing in the Highland Games. There was a point when you weren't, and it became a very big part of your life. Like, what was the door? How did you end up in the wild, wild world of Highland Games?
Yeah, isn't it cool? Like, the coolest thing too is I tell people, I'm like, it's just the weirdest, coolest sport. So do you have follow-up questions? Because I don't know how much I want to tell you if you have follow-ups. I was teaching. I was teaching for 16 years, and it was in my last year. I couldn't wait to get the heck out of there. But I was at a school, and one of the teachers that was at the school with me we were Facebook friends, and and I've been an athlete my whole life. I played volleyball in college and everything, and had coached club here and everything. And then she had put a post up, and it just happened to be her doing the caber at a practice. And she said, just trying something new. And this is the weirdest thing, because this doesn't happen very often, but something came over me and I was like, oh, I have to do that. I have to do that. And so I got in touch with the right people. And then I only did 3 practices, and they convinced me to do Tucson, because this is at the end of the year, I think 2016.
Yeah, because Tucson's November. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like the first week of November. So it's like the last one of the year. And for me, it's like, the season lasts a lot longer because I'm here in Phoenix. But and so I did only 3 practices, but then I won and I qualified for Worlds and all events. So I got to go to Worlds the same year, and Pleasanton that same year. So that was pretty cool. So then so
you saw a picture on the interwebs.
Yes.
And
I always say that too.
And you said, that's what I'm going to do. And you made it happen.
Yeah. And I was terrified. I don't know if you were, but I was terrified of the caber at first, because it's like, you want me to do what? Excuse me? But then.
Well, my entry fear was, we really wear kilts, because my origin story was very, very different. And I was sort of just poofed onto a field at Pleasanton with a kilt in my hand. And I had seen no pictures, so I did not believe that this was actually how this was going to go.
That's quite a different story.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was sort of like a sim. I just appeared at Pleasanton, poof,
yeah.
Holding a kilt, and I was like, "We want me to do what? Okay, awesome. We will apply kilt and apply force." Yeah.
Yes, that's nice though.
Yeah. Okay. Question number 2, and remember, you have 2 passes, just in case it gets weird.
Okay. In case
it's gonna get weird. Just do that.
Mm-hmm.
So Highland Games requires a lot of equipment, and when I was, on the circuit, I had a bag that was full of my equipment, and I was curious, what was the first piece of equipment you invested in, and like, when you came to that first practice, how did you decide what was most important in terms of building your kit bag?
Pass. No, I'm just kidding. That's an easy. That's a great question. I think the first thing I bought was probably a wrist wrap. I always say, I don't know how I can be so strong and have the weakest wrists on the planet, but yeah, it's like a wrist wrap and tape. It's the first couple of things I bought, and probably a backpack to put it in. So I still am not one of the people that has one of those big rolly things and have like, oh, you need that. Like somebody could build a small cabin with theirs. You know what I mean? I'm like, I have some stuff stuffed in here, and
Yeah, I had all the things. Yeah.
Yeah.
A thing for everything. Yeah.
That wasn't me. Yeah. So then, so of course sunscreen and stuff. So, but the first 2 things, definitely wrist wrap and tape.
So you went for reinforcements above all else.
Yeah.
You needed support.
Yeah. Cause I was like, what am I going to do? I mean, I'm sure always going to be wearing tennis shoes and, that kind of thing. Like, even if they're not perfect, how can I make my, cause you throw and you feel, it's the weirdest thing. I wish everybody could try it, because when you first start everything, even like weight for distance, you're like, huh? I'm supposed to spin in what? This? How much does this thing weigh? Wait, my arm's gonna fall off. Like, it's funny. So you're just like, yeah. That was just the things, and I wear the wrist wrap all day. It's like it's my whoopee.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need it for everything, but I just have it on all day. You know what I mean?
Well, that's your transformative piece. When you put on the wrist wrap, now you are ready. Now you're ready to compete.
Tilted Katie. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. So my next question is, what has been your favorite? This is a 2-parter. So what has been your favorite games so far? And then what made that event so special compared to everything else?
Ooh, that's a really good question. What's my favorite games? I've had some good ones. I would say I really like Pleasanton, but I like it
because you get to hang out with me before you pop up.
Yes, that's plus. But the people are really cool, and it's like a huge festival, as you know, right? So it's and it's in Northern California. The thing I hate about it is it always seems to be 115 degrees, so it's like 125 on the field. But I like it. It's more challenging because we do the caber and the wob for 2 days And then there's a little pressure for the money and whatnot. Oh, we got a comment here.
Oh, we do. We have a hello.
Hello. That's Donne, not Danae. Hello, Donne. It's nice to see you. So
look at those eyebrow arches. Those are fire.
Oh, Donne.
Can you put her back? Yeah.
Oh yeah, she is a photographer.
She's doing all the angles.
I interviewed her one time. She does boudoir pictures as well, but she does like, weddings and things like that. LOL, you too, Lovebird. Oh, look at you. She's got a little pet name for you already. But I think I'm gonna kind of make this a two-parter with my favorite, because the first year that I competed was Buffalo, and that was the Highland, that was the world champs, and I just absolutely did not do well. I think my lightweight and my heavyweight for distance were exactly the same in that one, but I was crazy because we had I competed in the morning the first day, the afternoon the second day, so I had a lot of drinks. I was crazy me. I met a ton of people, and some of those people are the people that I am still like this with in the Hunger Games every day. Everybody's like, "Who is that?" Because I'm brand new, So that was fun. Plus, I really liked. So Pam gives us a cool sign, and then Donne says, "Thanks, Summer." I'm over exaggerating the Donne because I used to say her name Donne all the time. So sorry.
We have Jason in the chat too.
Hello. Hey, Summer Pearson.
I have questions about County Clare, Jason. I need to call you because I think I'm planning a trip.
Oh, okay.
You can come, Katie, but I need to check with Jason first. Yeah. Are you ready for question number 3?
Yes.
Question number 3. Or actually, question number 4. I cannot.
Oh, that was a two-parter. Yeah.
Yeah. It's now the count is off, and you're going to hold me accountable. We'll have to give you a bonus pass, but
I'll ask you a couple.
I want to learn more about your training regimen and how you prepare for games.
Oh, I'm so glad you're asking me this now and not the last year.
Okay.
Because this year I wanted to win the world champs finally. I just want one under my belt. Do you know what I mean?
You had a winner's mindset. You were eyes on the prize.
Yes. Yeah, and I kept always getting second. So it's like, damn it. I just want to do it one time. Just one time. So actually now, here's what I do, and here's what I'm going to continue to do. So I'm actually doing strong woman stuff now. Okay, so I got to pull this up. So Danae says, fun. Your guest room is ready, and let my dad know. See? Well, she can stay here too, Jason, so you don't always get her. Danae says I'm a superwoman. Woo! So anywho, now, so our friend Mona Malik was always telling me, just get a coach. I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I played college volleyball. Yeah, And I'm so glad I did, because now I'm at a strong woman or a strong man, powerlifting, Olympic lifting, and strongman gym. So now I'm doing lifting and stuff 3 times a week, and then I'm throwing at least once a week. But before World, so I went to Norway, and then when I came back, I was throwing twice a week. So like Tuesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Saturday, or something, and that always pays off for 6 weeks, So now I'm just doing 3 times a week, and I'm not really doing anything on the off days except I am trying to throw once a week. So you guys, what that entails is there's 9 events. I never practice caber because I don't have one. So that's 8 events I'm usually practicing. And if I'm by myself, I can whip through it in about an hour. I'll do 3 to 5 throws each. If I'm with someone else, me, loquacious. And so I just blah, blah, blah. It takes like 2.5 hours. But it's fun.
Okay. So you've got a little lifty and a
little lifty lifterson.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another friend of mine. Hello, Angela. This is fun. Okay. This is Summer from California.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh, no. Danae, we'll have to talk about that later. The guy ended up being married.
I'll give you a bonus pass if you would like to also pass on commentary from the crowd.
Well, the guy ended up being married, so it's fine. I wasn't. There was a guy on a plane that was like adorable. He was really fun, and I was like, I had all the feels. I was like, oh my god, he was so cute, But then we did become Facebook friends, but he's married, so yeah, nothing ever. It's fine. I wasn't devastated or anything. It was just I knew that I wasn't dead inside anymore because I never date. So I was like, oh, I can have feelings. So yeah,
you're learning so much about
I know.
Right?
It's too much. It's too much.
Oh, Danae, bummer.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm not dead inside. That's a plus. Pam Turnbull, did we touch base on nutrition before practice? Yeah, no, I don't do any of that. I should, but I don't. So I used to do that kind of stuff, and then I would get obsessive about it. So I don't really want to. I don't want to count calories. I don't. I feel best, to be honest, when I'm doing keto, but I need more carbs now. So that's something I'm just kind of like not overeating, let's say. I'm kind of eating better, doing like broth sometimes in the day instead of like a coffee, you know, but not so far. So that's something I might visit later. I don't know. We'll see how the lifting goes, because you know how your body always transforms anyway when you're really active. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think I saw a juxtaposition picture of Taylor Swift at the beginning of the Eras tour and now, and even just with that uptick in her activity level, you can totally see.
Yeah.
So we just need to go on tour, Katie. That's what we need.
Okay, let's do it, Summer. That's it. We're going to be, how is menopause training? Oh, Jesus. That's a fucking pass. Whatever. Menopause? What are you talking? I'm 32. What the fuck are you talking about, Pam? What kind of a fucking question is that? Actually, no, my energy is great, though. I do take these super greens, and they're gummies, I know, but they're only 1 gram of sugar each. And it's just like the greens that you probably don't get in your diet every day, even though I eat vegetables. And actually, that's helped my energy a lot. So that's good. Thanks, Danae. For
a very supportive chat.
For an old lady. Jeez.
Tonight, yes.
So has your you know what dried up yet, or
that wasn't on my list, just so you know. Jesus, but I'll tell you what was on my list. What are you not currently doing in your training and your prep that you want to incorporate?
Okay, so that would probably be nutrition.
Okay.
Or like I would say, I ask hard questions, LOL.
Yeah, don't invite her on to ask you the questions.
Yeah, Pam, you will not be a guest host. I love you though. I love you. So what I'm not doing, so I'm kind of interested to learn how the strong woman training is going to go, because I still don't really know how that goes yet, because I've mostly been doing like lifts, like deadlifts. Like I'm doing a lot more Bulgarian squats, were like not my favorite.
Yeah,
they're good, but they're not my favorite. But I haven't done like many of the activities yet, so I don't know what I'll incorporate. But like I said, I'm gonna kind of just see how it goes and see if I need to do something with nutrition, because I'd rather not. Probably going to bed earlier would be helpful too, though. You know, I get up early. I just don't always go to bed early.
So moving on, we are now on question 6. Both of your passes remain, even though you passed on poor Pam's question. We do not hold that.
That's a moot. That's not even a question. I mean, I'm 32.
And so, and we talked a little bit about this before when I went on my 10-mile hike with you in my ear.
Yes, we talked for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, because that was reasonable. But how did it feel to be among the first group of women to compete at Braemar? Because that's kind of a big deal. And I feel like you sort of scooted through that in conversations that you've had publicly. So I wanted to like linger here.
I did. Okay, Danae, 10 miles, I'd die. Yeah, we actually talked the whole time she was talking on the phone. So that's a really good question, because there have been some things, rumblings that are not true, that I'm not going to discuss. Because simply we went, and what we were trying to do was Jennifer Taylor, who I don't think you've met either, a wonderful person, and she is one of the people that is runs the Sisterhood of Highland Games. I don't know if you're in any of those groups anymore, Summer?
No, since my sabbatical that has stretched into a retirement, I've sort of faded gently into the abyss. Yeah, but
so thankful that we became friends through that, right? Because we're like actual friends. We've actually hung out before, so it's good. But so what we were trying to do, and it's an interesting thing, is that just bring awareness to women in the games. And it's interesting because in Scotland, even, I'm telling people what I'm doing, and they're like, the Highland Games, and I'm like, what? You know, that to me it was like, okay, you live in Arizona and you don't know there's a Grand Canyon. Like, how do you not know that there's a Highland Games and you're from Scotland, live in Scotland? So we were just trying to do that because they've never allowed women. So when we got to the field, it was only 5 of us. We have our gear, we're in the middle, and it's very different. It's a beautiful field and everything, but they're very strict, very serious, you know. So there's no like, you know, I like to do cartwheels after doing cabers and things like that, but I wasn't going to do any of that. And believe it or not, I can hold it, you know, when I need to. So they almost didn't let us on the field. So it was really disparaging. I mean, it was a whole miscommunication thing. So we were like, okay, bummer. But then they let us. And so basically it was very quick. It was like an hour and a half maybe. And we threw the men's. I think you've done that before, Summer, throwing there. So the men's lightweight, the men's lightweight for distance, men's lightweight for distance, men's light hammer, and men's light stone. But the way Braemar works, they have a bunch of people that start out, and then they have, so we threw with the local group. So this is like, they allow them to throw, and then they taper down. So like, so maybe everybody throws these 3 events, and then they go, okay, now you guys are going to throw weight for distance or the weight wob, and now you guys are going to do caber. And so we only did those 3, and it was only about 11. So they ended up, you know, like I said, they let us throw, and then they were super gracious and wonderful and talked to us about it. And it was a little intimidating at first, but it ended up being really great. I just wasn't really quite sure how to talk about it because I like I said, I'm not going to say what's been said, but it's been a little discouraging that people possibly have said things that, you know, that were not true, you know, because we were just so happy to be there. And the crowd loved it. I mean, there was people like, whoa, like after I would throw, I'd do this and the whole crowd would go crazy. And I'm sure they're like, oh my God, I've never seen women. So like afterward, we were taking a million pictures with people. So we were like mini celebrities, you know? And so I think the best part about it is that, and this is a very long-winded answer, but I think the best part about this is that probably because we're Americans and we're like, you know, whatever, we're going to ask. And if they say no, then it's no. I think it's kind of helped for anybody. Like if you ever want to do something, just ask. The worst they're going to say is no. So even for the women there, let's say, so we went to Blair Gallery after that and competed, and they're trying to bring awareness. So a lot of these women are bringing their own implements because they go to a games and they're like, we don't have female implements. And they're like, okay, well, we brought our own, you know? And so that's the best part about it is that it kind of just shows everybody, like, just ask, you never know. Like it was great, you know? And now hopefully we'll get to go back and compete in some other ones. And what did she say? We should do a Highland Games Warrior. Oh, we should. That's a great idea. I should get some ladies together somewhere, but you have to come out and do it anyway.
Well, we will see.
So that was oh my God, the battery's getting low. Okay.
The battery's going to go. We're barely halfway through.
Oh, I know. It's because I have a billion things plugged into this thing. Okay, go ahead. I'm going to plug it in.
Okay, number 7 is a softball question. I don't know why I didn't start with it, but like, what is so great about competing in Highland Games versus every other sport or activity that you've competed in? Like, what sets it apart, and what keeps you wanting to do this and not being seduced by some other random picture you see on the interwebs?
That's actually a great question because I did play all the sports. I played, you know, basketball, and, softball, spent softball when I was younger, and then ran track in high school too, did the hurdles and whatever. I think what I like best about it is that it's a very supportive community. And so when people are new, they're helping people, even when they're old. Like I could tell you, Summer, this is what I'm seeing you do, and you wouldn't be like, ugh. Oh,
I would totally be like, ugh.
Okay, well, everybody but Summer. But it's very supportive and it's fun. It's relaxed. It's very hard. It's a very long day. So sometimes I'm like, oh, do I have to compete for 9 freaking hours, you know? But I think, you know, you get to travel. I wish that we could make more money doing it. I wish it could be something like that because it is hard to travel with that. But I love the community, I would say, of it, you know, and I typically don't have drinks till the end of the day because especially after the spinny event, I have to wait till the spinny events because you don't want to see that. But most people don't, you know, we'll sit afterward and have a couple of drinks and chats and, you know, that kind of thing. So I just love the camaraderie.
Okay. So the question number 8 is the complement to that is like, what piece is missing that would make it so much better for competitors or athletes or spectators? Like,
probably
in your opinion,
probably more consistency throughout like communications and stuff. So like when you're signing up, that people should get maps. People should get explicit directions. People should have an athlete list. Things like that. Easier ways to pay. I mean, we've gotten kind of to that now, because it used to be like, okay, send a check. Really? I don't think I even have any checks. So now we can use Venmo and stuff. But but having, I think, more, because like as an ex-teacher, right? Like you think that you're saying too much, but you're not. So like just like give them more, because then they're not going to ask you all the questions like, how do I get here and that? So don't just give the address, but give better instructions, because half the time the maps don't bring you to the right place. And then especially if you're new, like the first time I went to Pleasanton, I didn't know, so I parked with the RVs and stuff where I was by myself.
Oh,
dear. I almost started crying.
Yeah, you had a hike to your day. Yep.
Yeah, and I didn't know, and I was all alone. So I think just really having explicit instructions. Oh, and like, okay, a bathroom on the field for not all the athletes. One bathroom for all athletes to share, just on the field that nobody else uses but athletes. That is a thing that stresses me out at every single games, because we have to wait.
I can relate to that, because I used to, and if Nisi and Dorini are watching, they will attest to that. I would bring them with me to the bathroom, because I needed a buffer. Trying to do human things while the whole day you're being hyped up for being superhuman, it gets weird.
Yeah. And then it's like, if there's a line, you got to run in front of them. And I'm like, I'm an athlete and I just go in front of them, and they probably think I'm a jerk, but it's like, it's stressful. And I particularly, I think women, we need the restrooms more than the men do probably, but it is a big deal. It is a big deal. And I don't feel like it should be that hard when you're ordering porta potties to add one to the field for everybody to share. And if you guys have never like been an athlete on the field, it's hard to comprehend that, but it's a big deal, because you're competing literally from 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. or later. So it's a big long day.
You've gone 9 to 4. What kind of parties have you been?
No, you
just said 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. So like, I'm like, what kind of rave were you? But like,
no, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
There we go. That's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although now I'm really interested in seeing the games that starts at 9 a.m. and ends 4 a.m. the following morning.
Right? I'm sure there are some of them.
Okay. So far, no passes. So clearly I have not, encroached too far on proprietary Katie information.
Yeah, these are okay.
But
don't ask me how many people I slept with.
That's for the stream after dark. That's behind the paywall, Katie.
Exactly. I mean, that's nobody, Mom and Dad, nobody.
And pull up Pam's little comment. She's like, yes but Pam did. Yeah, Pam can't be trusted. I don't know Pam, and already she's on the list.
She's funny. She's from Canada. You'd like her a lot. She's from Canada, eh?
Love it. Oh, I do love the Canadians. Tell Shoppers Drug Mart I love them.
Yep. I love everything Canada.
So question number 9 is, tell me something unexpected that has happened to you that ended up being like a blessing in disguise as you've navigated Highland Games. Something you didn't anticipate. It happened at the time. It was really disruptive, but in the end, it was helpful.
I guess I could say, because I'm the kind of person who does like to learn from things, I guess I could say a guy that I dated that devastated me at the time actually is better, because I mean, this is years ago. It's like it's a long time ago, so it's like nothing, right? But I really learned a lot about what I should and should not like allow, just things like that, signs and like whatever. So I just kind of know myself better, and it's okay. You know what I mean? I guess I would say that. I guess I would say at the time you're like, oh, this sucks, but it's good because you just learn who you are better. And if we're not learning, we're not growing, right? So it's just I don't put on myself out there that often. So,
well, amen to the growth.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. And we will shoot right along to question number 10. And this one's a long question, so make sure you listen to the beginning, the middle, and the end. Yes,
thank you.
If you ran your own games, like somehow you just had the means and you were in charge of everything, what championship would it be, since they're all a championship of something for marketing purposes? And what special rules would you have that only existed for Katie's Highland Games?
This is the best question ever. And I didn't pass on any of them. Because I've been talking about this, because if I win, when I win, now it's 1.7 billion. It's gonna be the Horgan Masters Championship. You're still gonna have to qualify, okay? But you're gonna not have to pay for anything, because I'm gonna have like hotel rooms, and we're gonna have like entertainment and food and everything. Okay, you cannot wear a kind of fit, kind of fat shirt unless you actually are. I can't think of anything else that's funny, but yeah, you definitely have to qualify, but you wouldn't have to pay for anything. Obviously, we'd have porta potties on the field just for the athletes. No kind of fit, kind of fat unless you are. And I can't think of anything else.
I think that's good enough. I think even the dress code is unique.
Oh, and you wouldn't have to pay. So if I won, when I win 1.7, like literally you qualify and I'll pay for you to come out and for everything. It'll be great.
Okay. That might bring me out of retirement.
Exactly. Okay, these kids. These are the kids. I think it's Kadir. So these kids I used to stay with hello. I'm good. How are you? Okay. I need that shirt. I know, the kind of fit, kind of fat.
Katie needs to authorize if you are able to actually purchase it or not. There's a
yeah, and it's gonna be strict, man. It's a great shirt, but it's like you see these really, really skinny people wearing it, and you're like, "Are you though? Are you?"
So that's it. Those are my 10 questions to learn more about Katie and her genesis and career progression in the games.
That was actually great. That was great. We're gonna have to do one again. So I had a misconception. I thought it was gonna be just generic Highland Games questions. So I like Summer and creative and whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. I have a phone now. Oh my gosh. Okay. I do want to know your number, but don't tell it to me here.
Don't put it.
Don't put it here. He's on YouTube right now. I'm gonna call your dad or text your dad, and I get it from him. Okay. Yeah. So I'll tell you this story later, but I would stay with them in California, in Pleasanton. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is just a generic Scotland question, because you probably know this one. Do you know what their national animal is?
I'm pretty sure it's a haggis.
No, it's a unicorn. Can you believe that? He said, okay, good job, buddy. Okay, I'll contact your dad, I promise, after this. And then I'll ask you the funny one. What are the 4 words we hate to hear when we're throwing something like wob or sheaf?
Oh, I know the answer, but it's so easy. I want to make up my own words.
Well, I'll tell you what I do with the crowd. Tell us what the answer is.
Well, the answer is you had the height. But you had the height. Yeah.
You had the height. We hate to hear that, because it's like, because it's got to actually go, it can go high enough, but it's got to go over the bar.
All 3 of the dimensions must be met. Yeah.
Here's what I do, Summer. And I just did it in Prescott. So I'll go to the crowd, like I'll miss it, because I'll be at 13 and it goes way over, and then all of a sudden it's like whatever. So I look at the crowd and I go, the 4 words that the athletes hate to hear are, you had the height. Here's what I want to hear. You are so awesome. So I had him yelling it for me before I even threw my wob. I would be like,
oh, that's great. That's great. That's a great interaction. And then you get to blame them when it doesn't go well, that they didn't participate hard enough. Yeah.
Guys, this has been a summer takeover.
Mm-hmm.
This has been great. We love you. Summer, thank you. We're gonna come back on here, and we're gonna play some games, because I have some ideas for some games that we can play, which I think will be really fun. Kind of like the wiki how-tos. Okay, guys. The journey begins with you. So be good to yourself. Sit squatch. You know what I say? Work loves you. What do you say? Do you have a little saying?
I have nothing.
You say Summer loves you.
It needs to be written in a script, otherwise I can't function.
This is true. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.